Get that water out of the goddamn huddle. I tell you when you get a fucking water break.
Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer Podcast. This is Ralph Phillips, all depressed up in here.
I don't even want to talk right now.
You know what I'm depressed about? It's not that we lost. It didn't bother me. I love this team. What depressed me? This is the end of the season for the Buccaneers. This is it, man.
And what a way for it to go out. Doesn't that just define the season?
Yeah.
We're going to end it on a Jameis Winston interception.
It defined the season, and even the announcers were talking about how entertaining this game was. That's been 4 weeks in a row where we've had the announcers saying how fun the games are to watch. And that's what matters, man. That's what matters. This is entertainment. And, man, this is fun. This is fun stuff. Perriman, come on.
He really showed up. And now I'm like, how are we going to let him go?
We can't let nobody go. Here's what we do.
Everybody signs for $5 million.
We raid the Carolina Panthers, take all their stuff, and pay our players with that. We take their salary cap numbers. Pillage. We're Buccaneers. Good grain. That was just fun to watch. That was some good football. It's been good football all year. I like it. And all the stats and records that were busted today, I mean, we were like taking hammers to everything. This football team shouldn't work like this. You got a quarterback throws 30 interceptions on a year. You should not be 8-8. You should be picking first in the draft.
Yeah, all the records we broke today, or players on the Buccaneers broke. Levante got his 1,000 tackles, and there's only 2 players who have gotten 1,000 tackles, 20 sacks, and 10 interceptions through 8 seasons. It's Levante and Ray Lewis.
Levante David is in the same category as Ray Lewis, people.
Tampa has 4 fumble recovery touchdowns on the season, which is a single-season franchise record. We've done it 3 times in 92, 2005, and 2017. We have 6 defensive touchdowns, which ties the franchise record, which was done in 1981, 2000, and 2002. Jameis broke 5,000 yards, joining 8 other quarterbacks who did the same. Shaq got up to 19.5 sacks. He beat Warren Sapp's record, and he tied Chandler Jones for the top spot right now. I don't think Chandler Jones has played yet, so he could beat it, but he's tied with the lead leaguer at this point. Leader.
I don't want him to be the league leader because then it gives their side more leverage in the bargaining. But at the same time, I want him to have the lead. Man, this team is awesome. I love this team.
He killed it. Devin White set the franchise record for the longest fumble return for a touchdown in Buccaneers history. So his first year, and he's making history.
Everybody that watched that game, this is the same thing with the Texans, same thing with the Titans, same thing with other teams. We were the better team out there. Just plain and simple. We were much more fun to watch, that's for sure. Everybody else they have to pull out the crazy stuff against us. You can't beat us one-on-one. You have to trick us.
Yeah, you got to throw it to your offensive lineman for a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, you're not running it down our throats. Julio Jones ain't out there lighting it up. DeAndre Hopkins ain't doing it.
And we did the same thing we did the first time. We just beat the absolute crap out of them. We were a little less aggressive this time, but we still had Julio Jones left the game. Matt Ryan was just getting clobbered.
We were killing Matt Ryan.
That unnecessary roughness penalty.
That was BS.
On Vita. It was such nonsense.
You know, if you're going to have rules and regulations, have rules and regulations, but 1, make them understandable to everybody, and 2, you got to be consistent with them. The referees are neither.
Yeah.
I could show you 20 clips of quarterbacks getting hit, and 1 out of those 20s would be penalty worthy. You couldn't pick it out.
That's so true. That's crazy. Speaking of hitting Matt Ryan, we sacked him 6 times.
Really? JPP got 2, 3. How many did he get?
He was all over the place tonight, and I think that he got one of his contractual bonuses.
$500,000, yeah.
Yeah.
A good day for JPP.
Which is just crazy, because how many games has he played in? You know? Not that many. He had 2 sacks. Shaq Barrett had 3. That's crazy. And then Vita had one. He just bear hugged Matt Ryan.
He folded him in half. Looked like he was doing laundry.
And I think he had the offensive lineman with him.
They were both, come help me with my laundry, man.
I know.
Brashard Perriman. Let's talk about this guy.
Okay.
How many limbs does he have? Because he's like an octopus.
He gets 12 inbounds.
Yeah. You're looking at it, you think, oh, man, why didn't he drag his foot or something? And then you watch it on the replay, he's got like 5 feet inbounds. The guy's...
He had a record-setting game, too. It was his third straight game with 100-plus receiving yards, which is tied for the second longest streak of 100-yard receiving performances in franchise history.
I would have to say, I can't recall in all my years of watching football, which has been many decades, that I have seen a receiver make as many spectacular catches in such a short time frame. He's had like 7 in 3 games.
We were talking about cutting him in the middle of the season.
Yeah, we totally blew that one. This guy, you give him the chance to go out there and be number 1 wide receiver, he makes it worth your while.
This is what is so incredible about BA is
that he can
his ability to find these guys who want their chance, want their opportunity to show what they can do. And once they get their chance, they just light it up.
Shaq Barrett.
Barrett.
Nobody saw that.
Who we paid, what, like $4.5 million this year? Robbery.
Got him on the cheap.
We are getting away with a robbery this year.
That's not going to happen again.
No.
God, we are going to have the most expensive team on the planet. We're going to have so many guys making $20, $30 million this year.
I hope JPP wants to be back.
I want this whole team back. There's nobody on the team I don't want.
I know. You and I were talking about this during the game. We were going through our free agents, and you said maybe Will Golston is at the bottom.
And that one hurts.
But he had an awesome game today, too.
Oh, he's had plenty of awesome games. That one would hurt. Whoever he goes to is going to get a steal. If he goes to a division opponent, that's going to hurt us. But I just don't see how we can keep everybody. We're going to leave 3 elite players on the field. I was even talking about we might have to trade a wide receiver. We've got, if you throw Perriman in there, that's ridiculous. Who's got 3 elite wide receivers like this?
But it was weird because Perriman wasn't like this when Chris Godwin and Mike Evans were here. So what do you do? Do you sign him for a bunch of money, knowing that Chris Godwin and Mike Evans will probably be back?
No, you can't have...
Especially for number 3.
3 big money guys,
yeah.
No.
But he really stepped up once.
But he's a trading chip. And, we're going to have to jettison some people.
But I think he's only on a 1-year deal, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so we got a lot of people on these short-term deals. Sue, Barrett, Perriman.
Peyton Barber.
We'll
probably let him go.
No, he's not on a 1-year deal.
I think so.
Was he?
I think so.
Jesus.
I know.
So anyhow, God, yeah. That's just a 1-year deal, guys.
This game was such a tease because I thought we were going to get some extra Buccaneers football going into overtime.
We did with the defense.
No, we got the ball first in overtime. And Jameis immediately throws an interception at a pick 6.
Well, that's part of our
So apropos.
Our MO. Yeah, yes, it really is. It ended the season on what Jameis is going to be known for, what our team is going to be known for. Giving that ball up.
I think he has 29 interceptions.
No, he broke 30.
Okay. ESPN still has him at 28 today, but...
He had 2 in this game.
He had... In 2018, he had 14 interceptions. 2017, he only had 11. 2016, he had 18 interceptions. 2015, he only had 15. So this is really an anomaly for him, throwing that many.
I think it's a new normal. He threw fourth quarter. Never, ever, 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 ever throw an out route when you're within 20 yards of your own end zone. You just don't do it, because if it's intercepted, that's a touchdown. There's no stopping it. That's what he did. Mm-hmm. That's what he did twice last week.
And he loves those out routes.
Those out routes are his money routes. And you don't know if everybody's picked up on it.
Yeah, they probably figured it out. A lot of teams have.
You just don't do that, though. That's bad play calling right there. And it's bad on Winston to throw that pass, to say, I'm going to go to the out route when I'm within my own 20. I would even move it up. I'd say within your own 30.
Yeah.
Just to be safe. But hey, you can't have a perfect team. This team is fun to watch. This game didn't matter. What this game did was, it's off-season hope. And, man, there's a lot of hope with this team. A lot of hope. We could beat anybody. This Atlanta team has beaten really good. They beat the 49ers.
Yeah.
They beat the Saints. This is a good team. Matt Ryan, and it's a good coaching staff. Now that they've realigned, they really screwed up letting Quinn call the defensive play calling. And it just seems like he does what you get a lot of veteran defensive coordinators do is they get scared. They're trying to, they're worried about their jobs and all that. So it's all about keeping the play in front of you. Let them make the catch, you make the tackle. Keep your eye on the quarterback, keep the player in front of you. If you can, jump the route. If not, make the tackle. And that just doesn't fly anymore. You can't do that. You got to do this man coverage, and different types of zones, but...
And right around the bye week, Dan Quinn had relinquished play calling duties to Raheem Morris, and they made this big push and comeback. They started off 1-7 on the season and ended at 6-2.
Raheem Morris is going to be the new defensive coordinator next year. I can't believe that they're keeping Dan Quinn.
I know. They announced that Friday after we had put the podcast up.
And then bringing Raheem Morris in as defensive coordinator, keeping Matt Ryan, most likely, right? I mean, there's been no word on it. But, so...
I think all his guaranteed money is up, maybe.
I was like, damn it. I wanted that franchise to get blown up. Yeah. But at least we got Carolina. How about them today? Oh, it was 35-3 in the fourth quarter last time I looked.
I think it ended 42-10, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, it was 42-10. So definitely contenders.
You're cruel. Winston eclipsed 5,000 yards.
Yep.
Only a few quarterbacks have done that. Almost all of them in the modern era. Barrett beat Sapp's sack record. Devin White had the longest return fumble for a touchdown.
This was like a record-breaking game. It was fun.
It was fun. Oh, there was no doubt we were the better team. We were out there kind of just breaking records. We didn't. Yeah, I mean, everybody wanted to win, but it didn't mean that much.
Yeah.
Oh, we went out. We didn't even go out 8-8. We went out 7-9.
I know.
2 games better than last season.
But I think it's the worst that BA's done as a head coach.
Oh my God, this team is awesome. I don't care. I mean, you beat us, you have to bring your A game to the max.
And then hope that we screw up.
Yeah, hope Jameis throws at least 2 interceptions, minimum.
In pivotal times. But, Rojo did it too.
And a pick 6.
Yeah.
One of those has got to be a pick 6.
Well, Jameis didn't throw an interception immediately.
No, we fumbled immediately.
Rojo fumbled it immediately instead.
So it's just a thing.
It's just our thing.
It's not Jameis. It's just
And then
thing.
the second offensive drive, Matt Gay misses the field goal. So that's 3 for him. Had he made those field goals, we would have won. Think about that.
Yeah, if you do the math like that.
Our score predictions were 32-26 was my prediction, and yours was 42-28.
Oh, I was giving a prediction on the Saints-Carolina game.
Right.
That's what I meant.
Right. You overestimate on that one.
Carolina.
Anyway.
They're contenders.
Will we ever get sick of joking about that? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
Carolina.
I'm just happy it's not us. And I hope they get Mike McCarthy.
I really do. He would be the best thing that would ever happen to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
To the NFC South as a whole.
That roughing the passer call on Vita Vea, 7:37 in the second quarter, that was bullshit.
Total nonsense.
Total nonsense. Bunning got hurt. He never came back in the game. The same play Bunning got hurt on, Edwards was called for lowering the head on the tackle.
Oh, that was such...
That's another one. I could show you 20 tackles that were exactly like that, and you got to pick up...
In this game. Try it in this game.
Yeah, probably
you could probably find a handful.
Yeah. And it's just dumb. It's dumb. You can't legislate safety.
No, because they can't even define what's safe. Like, one hit on one guy could be fine, and then the same hit on another guy.
Why is a hit on a quarterback is a foul? Same hit on a running back is not a foul. If you're worried about safety...
Yeah, they're getting hit more than anyone else.
You can't hit the running back in the head, neck, shoulder, or abdomen area.
Right.
Or below the knees.
Yeah. You've got a spot about 3 inches big that you can hit him.
That's probably coming. I tell you what, though, we had a crap ton of pressure on Matt Ryan. He was just lobbing stuff up.
6 sacks total, and then let me look at the hits. I mean, he was just lobbing balls. We had 14 quarterback hits.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow. And I don't even believe in quarterback hits or hurries. Right. A hurry.
And we had...
Who judges what a hurry is?
I know. How do you know? Because
totally subjective.
Yeah, totally subjective because every quarterback has a different average as far as where they throw. So what's considered a hurry?
Yeah, and if a quarterback scrambles out of the pocket, even though he's not being pressured, do you give a hurry to the guy that was closest to him?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. There's no set standard. You don't know. I don't know what a hurry is. Nobody knows what a hurry is. A hurry to me is different than what a hurry is to you. How they judge that and put it in stat books, I have no clue. What was amazing, 2 minutes left in the first half, that throw by Winston to Perriman. Winston threw it between 3 defenders. 2 of them were stuck to Perriman like glue. It was a beautiful pass, beautiful catch. Perriman was incredible.
I know, that catch in the end zone for the touchdown, where he was like on the back of the end zone.
I didn't think he had it.
I didn't either.
Again, it's like at least once a game you go, damn, Perriman, why didn't you catch that? And then they showed a replay.
And he caught it.
He's got 12 limbs in bounds.
Call him the octopus.
He looks like a mutant when he's catching these balls. CGI. He looks like CGI.
Yeah.
But is that, you got to ask yourself, I mean, when we have three receivers on our team that can do that, is that them or is that Jameis?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
maybe
Jameis is making the throws.
And they're wanting to catch the ball. Deshaun Watson didn't want to catch the ball. Or Deshaun Jackson last year.
Yes, Deshaun Jackson.
But these guys are wanting to catch the ball, and they're going through great lengths to do it. You gotta hand it to, that's some leadership skills there or something. I don't know. These guys are wanting to catch the ball. And then he had that incredible touchdown catch right after that. That was amazing. I did not think he was in bounds at all.
Me neither.
Again. I'm going to say this again, though. I love this team. I love everything about this team.
I know. It's going to be a really depressing free agency because we're going to have to see some of these guys go.
It's going to hurt. Normally, between year to year, it's about a 30% turnover. That's even on the low end.
I just hope that the team has enough promise and has bought in that some guys want to stay here.
We're going to churn the bottom of the roster a lot.
That's not necessarily a bad thing to me. If you can upgrade, like teams like the Patriots and the Saints, they've had so much continuity that they can slowly upgrade in different pieces without it necessarily being a need. It's more of a want. So if we can get to that point and just slowly upgrade our depth, I don't have an issue with that.
That's a good point. I don't see any needs on this team.
Yeah, I would say offensive lineman, just because Dot is getting up there, he's probably, I don't know if he's going to retire next year, but probably the following year and the next few years.
Yeah, you got to start working some backups.
Exactly. Like if you just draft somebody. I like drafting. With Kappa, it works there. It's worked with Donovan, Marpet.
Oh, yeah.
So if we can get a guy to replace Dotson either this season or in the next few seasons, I would be very happy with that. Because they do take a while to develop.
Yeah, the longer they can develop, the better.
Exactly. And then an upgrade. I like our running backs, but an upgrade there wouldn't hurt.
These guys love contact too much.
I know.
They run towards
They do.
guys.
Rojo did it today.
Yeah. He had a great game.
He had it was his first 100-year game of his NFL career.
100-year? He played for 100 years?
100-yard.
Yeah, but you're never going to have a perfect team. You're never going to have a perfect team. I mean, even the best teams are deficient in some areas. So, I don't know. Yeah, we could upgrade at running back. That'd be fine. I think the blocking would have to be better. And talking about that, we use our tight ends too much in blocking, and they're not that good. Cameron Brate is our best blocker. He's all right blocking. But O.J. Howard, not. So, if we're not going to use our tight ends as a receiving threat, then we should probably look at trading and getting blocking tight ends. So I could see that area saving us a little money.
It's strange.
God, I don't want to get rid of nobody.
It's strange that BA uses his tight ends in blocking so much, but refuses to get a fullback.
Good point.
Why wouldn't you just get a fullback?
Yeah, I'm sitting there watching the Saints today, and I'm like, man, I miss a fullback. Man.
Who was the one we had before Jaworski Lane? We had one I really liked. I can't remember who it was.
Who was it we drafted not too long ago? Light drafted him. Now he's been with Green Bay. He's been starting with them ever since we waived him.
That might have been Dvorsky.
No. It was Dan Vitale.
I don't remember him at all.
Yeah, we drafted him like a 4th rounder. Oh, hey, you know what? That reminds me. Fact checks and follow-ups. God, we're getting so out of sync with all of our stuff. Normally we do fact checks and follow-ups at the beginning of the podcast. Actually, we never do fact checks and follow-ups in a instant cast. All right, follow-up. Ryan Smith did not have any tackles on special teams against the Texans. We had talked about that. The Texans really locked down our special teams. To me, that was the difference in the game. And Ryan Smith had no tackles.
Where were you, Ryan?
He was getting his butt whooped by the Texans special teams. Follow-up. The National Football League and the NFL Referees Association reached a 7-year collective bargaining agreement September 28th, 2019, which is a few months ago. Snuck up on everybody. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody did.
They just did it in secret.
They did it in secret, announced it, and everybody was like, what? And everybody had been complaining about the refs this season.
How bad they were.
The new deal runs through May 31st, 2026. The current CBA was set to expire on May 2020. Now, here's the deal with the new CBA, with the refs. The NFL will hire a new vice president to coordinate training and development of officials. This is a new hire. It's going to revive the training program that it's dwindled from 9 to 2 trainers in recent years.
Interesting. Maybe that's why the refs are so shitty.
And we need more bureaucracy. Throw some more layers of government on top of this.
More classes.
Now, quote, the trainers would be involved in grading officials. This is coming from the...
Wouldn't be.
Would not be involved in grading officials. This is coming from the NFL Referees Association Executive Director Scott Green. He said it would be more of a mutual mentor type relationship. They would be asking, what can I help you get better at? That sort of thing.
So the referees have to self-identify their weaknesses, and then they get a mentor to counsel them through it.
The NFL is hiring trainers to therapy.
I know.
The referees.
Yeah.
This CBA will also provide a one-time incentive for older officials to retire. Now, this I don't like.
I don't either. They are the ones that know the calls and know how to do this shit.
Maybe they're the ones screwing up. I don't know. Those with 20 years or more experience will be entitled to enhanced severance package. I like that. An enhanced severance package.
So what's the normal severance package?
I don't know, but I want mine to be enhanced. Now, that's only if they step away next season. They got a 1-year window here to get this enhanced severance package. Now, there's 23 officials in the NFL's public roster that have at least 20 years experience. So we got about 20% of the NFL officials can retire next year.
So that's a huge turnover.
They probably will. Who wouldn't?
An enhanced severance package.
Who can deny the enhanced severance package? This incentive will give the NFL earlier clarity for off-season hiring, and it could also accelerate an ongoing shift toward younger officials. Don't know what that means. Don't like it.
Change is bad.
That guy Green said that nearly half of the 122 officials in the league have few or 4 years of experience.
Well,
no wonder they
suck.
Why
is that a good thing? That is not a good thing.
The NFL will be able to manage these new guys under the CBA more efficiently, give them more flexibility. That's a word, I swear. Flexibility in putting these, managing these young officials. They're putting new hires in 3-year probationary status before they get any benefits, veteran-wise. Don't know, man. I don't see how that's good for the game. Don't know. The last thing is that the new CBA, allows for the league's full-time officiating program to be reinstituted for the 2020 season if the NFL chooses. Right now, the program was scrapped before this season. The program had originally allowed the league to designated 20%. I've had a lot of beer today. To designate 20% of the officials as full-time. I did not know that. So what they did before this year, they just scrapped that whole program. And now they're instituting it. So roughly 20% of this officiating crew can be designated full-time this year if the NFL chooses. I don't know. I don't like the full-time staff. I don't even have a reason why.
What difference does it make? I don't know what the difference is.
I don't know, man. It just I'm old school. I don't want these guys to depend on this for their livelihood. You know, incentives matter. If your livelihood depends on making this call or not making this call, you're going to be swayed towards your livelihood. But if you're doing this as a friggin' hobby or some extra side money or whatever, it just doesn't mean that much to you. You're not going to make that biased call, I think. I don't know. I don't know the answer there. I hear arguments one side or the other. Don't know. All right, follow up. 54 quarterback.
You're having a hard time with that.
I am. I'm like slower spinning.
Put the beer down.
Bergenbacks.
Go take a nap.
54 quarterbacks have been drafted since 2015. We're talking about Jameis. We're talking about Jameis here. What to do? Get rid of him, not get rid of him, keep him, all that good stuff.
Even with today, I'm like, this is what he is. Like, that today was no different than any other day.
He threw some good passes. That one pass was just like, what?
Yeah, I mean, he played like Jameis today. And my mind was made up before this that I think we should keep him.
He was more Dr. Jekyll than he was Mr. Hyde, but they both came out.
I think it was like a 45, 55.
Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot of difference.
Yeah.
But when you get those games where you got Dr. Jekyll at like 80%, dang, you can't stop us. But now when you got Mr. Hyde at 80%, we got a defense that will, punch you in the mouth.
Man, the defense is crazy today.
I love watching those guys.
All right, let's get back to Jameis.
Yeah, so we were talking about get rid of James, keep him, blah, blah, blah. And I was saying, hey, it's a crapshoot. You draft whatever, another quarterback, you don't know what you're going to get. If we cut Jameis, what are we going to do? We don't have anybody. I could understand if we had a second place guy who's back there that's been kicking butt and we know is going to come out there and give us some good numbers. But we don't have that. So, we're talking about drafting somebody. So 54 quarterbacks have been drafted since 2015. That's the year we drafted Jameis Winston. 54. Of those, only 16 are currently starters in the NFL. That's actually a larger number than I expected.
16 out of 54.
16 out of 54 are starters. Of those, 5 had better win-loss records than Winston in 2019. So since Jameis Winston was drafted, only 5 guys, quarterbacks, have better records than him.
5 out of 54.
Out of 54. So 5 out of 54. That's about a 10% chance. Actually,
9%.
less than. Yes, 9.26% chance of drafting a quarterback better than Jameis Winston.
That's crazy.
Here are the 5 current quarterbacks that have better records than Jameis Winston since the draft. Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
Okay, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson have only been starters for 2 years, right?
Yes.
And Mahomes, I think, too. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean...
So you got a 10% chance you're going to get a better quarterback.
And this year was such... Not that it's an anomaly that he throws interceptions, because yes, he throws interceptions. It was an issue last year.
Honey Badger don't care. He's just going to throw that football. He don't care. There's 3 guys standing there ready to intercept it.
Honey Badger don't give a fuck. So, I mean, yes, the 30 interceptions this year, pretty bad, but...
No, we're keeping Jameis. That's $30 million right there.
They don't bother me that much because he is what he is. We all knew.
He's fun.
Going into this. Yes, and he can just as easily win games for us as he can lose them. So
he is not a boring quarterback. You can say that.
And here's the thing. A lot of his is luck. Like, he just happens to be an unlucky guy sometimes.
If he could just learn to read the field, he would be incredible.
I think that he's going to make strides in the offseason between...
We hope.
I do think he will. Between learning the system and getting a better rapport, I think, with his backup receivers, because these last few games, that's really been the issue, is 2 stars out. And I don't think that the backups, while they've done fine, I think they're not Chris Godwin or Mike Evans. And they don't run the same routes. They're not always on the same page with Jameis. Like, Godwin and Mike know Jameis very well. So I think that'll make a difference, and I think it's probably something that they'll emphasize in the offseason. And these guys, like Tanner Hudson, who showed a lot of promise in the preseason, but obviously his route running is not great because he spent a lot of time inactive. They made comments in the preseason about that. So you give these guys a chance to learn the system, learn their jobs better, get better cohesion with their quarterback. I think it'll make all the difference. And we will have Chris Godwin and Mike Evans back next year.
I love Mike Evans. I love Chris Godwin, but I'm thinking, wow, we don't really need them. I mean, no, that's
You're drunk, Ralph. You're drunk.
But I'm saying if they were to disappear from this team, I still think we've got a great team. I can't say that about some players. And coming into this year, I was like, Mike Evans is our most important player, bar none. Now, exiting the season, I'm saying,
I think JPP is our most important player.
I would not. I could make an argument, but I wouldn't believe in it.
I know. I really do think he is.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Look how this team changed when he came back. Our defense was dying the first half of this season. We were getting blowed up. 35 yards or 35 points a game, 32, somewhere in that area.
And he's the one that chewed out Vernon Hargreaves when he, not when he left, but in the games before he left when they were all cutting up in the shower after a loss.
And you cannot deny the fact that Vernon Hargreaves gets cut. Our defensive secondary has been spectacular.
I don't think it's a coincidence. There's no way it can be.
No, What did we hold Jones to today?
78 yards. He was 7 for 13.
Wow, that's almost 50%.
I know. And his long was 29 yards.
And a large part of that was Carlton Davis. Yeah, we got rid of Vernon Hargreaves. This secondary exploded.
And that's the good thing about going into next season is all these guys are on rookie contracts, so we do not have to pay any of them.
Our secondary is tight. They're locked down for 4 years.
It's the defensive line we really got to worry about here.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful unit. Beautiful unit. I don't want to get rid of none of them.
Levante David said this is the best front seven he's played with since he's been with the Bucs.
I saw that.
Oh, that's what we need to talk about.
Hold on. One more follow-up.
All right.
One more follow-up. Yeah. This was yours. Yes, Drew Brees is a free agent next year, but it's complicated.
Because there is some dead money, but these NFL contracts are kind of difficult to understand. I don't think he's got guaranteed money, but it might be the signing. I don't know. None of the sites were clear and could give me a solid answer. Well, I think it's because if he chooses to retire, it kind of gives the team a way out. Okay, that was the last follow-up?
That's it.
Okay. The team quietly extended Levante, and I think it was Scott Reynolds. Yeah, Scott Reynolds, the Fab Five with Pewter Report, wrote a really good article about Levante, and gosh, it was just really good. And there were some good quotes, but everyone talked about how much of a leader Levante is. And he's a vocal leader, which is crazy.
Did not see that.
Me neither, because
he's always been very reserved and quiet.
Exactly. And so people like Dodson said, yeah, he's a great leader. He's one of the leaders on our team. So if you haven't read that Fab Five, I would definitely recommend it.
We have 89 passes defensed. We lead the league in that.
Who would have thought that?
Well, it's been the last 8 games or so where we've been batting balls. I've never seen a team do this before. We're swatting balls down like they're flies.
Our defensive linemen today, too, have been really good.
Sue was killing it. Got some Golston. Yeah.
They were just feasting.
Matt Ryan had a horrible day. It is a miracle that they won this game. And I'll give it to I'm like, that's fine. Take it, Of all the teams in the NFC South, the Atlanta Falcons are the least annoying.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah,
okay.
I'll give it to you. Yeah, here you go. Keep your coach, keep your quarterback, and it's fine because we can beat y'all any year. Every year. Next year, y'all gonna hate the fact y'all didn't get a higher draft pick. Get some offensive linemen because our guys were just destroying it.
They have been rebuilding that offensive line, I swear, for 5 years.
Barrett and JPP were both destroying double teams all day long. Flat out. JPP destroyed 2 offensive linemen. Normally when you say double teams, you're talking about, normally it's 2 offensive linemen. But with like Barrett, a lot of times they do a tight end and a running back or a tackle and a tight end.
That is just stupid.
Yeah, I know it is.
America.
How many videos have I shown of Barrett just eating up tight ends and running backs? But yeah, JPP blew up 2 offensive linemen, made them look stupid. The one was laying on the ground, flopping around, trying to grab his foot or something.
That's a hold, right? Wouldn't that be a hold?
Could have been. But yeah, I would agree with that. At JPP, I think he's extremely vital to come back. You're not seeing it on the stats, but
yeah, you are. He's got 8.5 sacks, and he came back
9 games,
week 9.
Craziness, yeah.
From a neck injury.
He changed his team. Changed it. I mean, our run game was solid, and you got to hand that up to Sue and Vea and Golston and Whitehead.
Bo Allen, he's in there. Meh.
Yeah, rotation. Our rotation guys are awesome. Our rotation guys could be starters on any team.
Yeah. Oh, Nacho?
He got hurt today.
I know.
That was sad.
He's fun.
He is. He loves football. Him and Vea are very alike. They just seem to really like to go out there and
hit people
and jump up and down and scream and get in people's faces. Hey, I got to thank a lot of you guys that comment and stuff, YouTube, Twitter, all this stuff. Man, I just got to thank y'all. This has been a great season. There's been a lot of stuff that's happened. If you remember back at the early part of the season, our special teams sucked. Our secondary sucked. We were losing. There was a lot of negativity going out. It wasn't really until the Seattle game where everybody that watched the Buccaneers, we're talking about the media, the announcers, the fans, went, oh, crap, this is a team. These guys are serious. I mean, they can stand toe-to-toe with anybody. But the people that have been listening to this and commenting, you guys have been great. I mean, this has been great. The great feedback, the encouragement, I really appreciate it, man. It means a lot. This has been a great year. And I'm really sad it's over. I really am. I've
never felt like this after a season before.
No, yeah.
Maybe Shiana's first season, maybe. But I don't remember just liking everybody and
having so much hope.
Yeah, a lot of hope.
Going into the
Because you're like, this is our baseline. We can only get better.
We're keeping our staff. It's really a struggle to keep all these good players. I mean, that's what you want at the end of the year.
And you worry about the coaching staff too, though.
Todd
because
Bowles.
Who knows who's going to get some job offers and whether they'll take them.
And, a lot of people are loyal to Arians, and he's loyal to them. But if they get a job offer, like Todd Bowles get a job offer to coach the Redskins.
He's gone.
Arians is going to be like, no, you take this or I'm firing you, I mean, these guys are loyal to each other. They want to see each other succeed.
It happened in Arizona because the first year that Arians was there, the following season, Todd Bowles went to the Jets. So he really only had Todd Bowles for a year.
Yeah. I don't know if Todd Bowles is head coach material. I really don't. I don't know anything about it. But
yeah.
I really felt like he got thrown into fire.
That place was just a cluster.
It was. They're trying to scramble back now, but for like that whole Mark Sanchez and all that.
The butt fumble ruined them.
Yeah, it blew up that team. I don't want to see anybody leave. There's nobody on this team. Nobody. Absolutely nobody on this team. I think we would not benefit from having coming back next year. Nobody.
Yeah, I think that BA rooted out all the people who were problems or weren't going to buy in or were going to drag us down.
I could say O.J. Howard, get better in your blocking because it appears that's going to be the majority of your work. I could say Donovan Smith, keep up your energy you had the first part of the year. Kind of fell off a little bit at the end, but you fought well. You fought well. Last week against Merciless, they dominated, kept him in check the whole game.
I like it when you say Merciless.
Jamal Dean learned how to catch the ball. You would have had 6 interceptions this year.
Oh, yeah. I think this secondary, that's going to be their focus.
Catching
Work with the drug machine, guys.
So many dropped interceptions. A Pro Football Focus put out a stat that said the Buccaneers have dropped more interceptions than 15 teams in the league have caught this year.
That was 12. We've dropped 12. And that was before this game.
We've dropped over 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, before this game. I saw 3 in this one. Jameis Winston got a lot of work to do. Of all positions, Jameis Winston has the most work to do. He's got to get his happy feet in order a lot better this year than years past, so apparently they are working on it. Reading the field.
Yeah, I think he'll be better. And this is what I wanted to say earlier. I forgot. He's very unlucky, or luck does not always go in his favor. So if you give a person a coin and you say, flip this coin until you get 10 heads in a row, some people, it takes 100 flips. They get it really fast. Some people it takes 1,000. And so I think Jameis has a lot of luck go against him.
That's one thing you have to look at with stats.
Yeah.
You got to realize that with stats, there's always the mean, regression to the mean. And Jameis overshot the mean this year.
Oh, yeah.
So that means 1 year he's going to have really undershoot. He's going to pull a Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I did the stats. And without his interceptions this year, so taking the first 4 years of his career, he averaged 14 and a half.
Oh my God! If we had
interceptions a season,
if we would have had that this year, we would have won 4 extra games.
That would have been the difference in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think this year was an anomaly.
So that goes back to the whole. I think Jameis Winston is the most important piece that needs to be upgraded this year, not his position, but him as a player. I think we need to really do what we can to keep this team together Jameis Winston is where we need to focus.
Right, and he has a lot of trust issues. So with his offensive line, when he's not trusting his offensive line,
and rightfully so,
you can understand it. But if he gets the same group of guys, and they made improvements this year, the offensive line. I mean, early in the season, they were giving up 4 or 5 sacks.
But a lot of those are Jameis's sacks.
But if you just look at the sack number, whether or not they were Jameis's fault, it's because of how Jameis perceives his offensive line. Like, if he feels like they're giving up pressure,
that's a good point.
He's going to act. Yeah.
So it really is offensive line either way.
Yeah, it is either way. And you saw this season, I'm going to break it down, but the number of sacks really went down. As like today, we only gave up one. I think that they have. Today, they only had 1 sack.
That's interesting.
I think a couple weeks ago, they only gave up 2. So I'm going to chart it out. I'll do a follow-up or a fact check if I'm wrong. And so trust for the offensive line, I think, is a big thing. Trust with his receivers, because BA has said sometimes Jameis trusts his receivers when he shouldn't. He trusts them to be where they're supposed to be or to make the play, and they don't. And so,
one thing I like about that is it's Jameis giving the receivers a chance at glory.
Yeah.
You know,
that's true.
He's like, I'm gonna throw it to you, damn it, catch the ball. Impairment. Oh my gosh, I really just blown away.
So if he can be with the same group of receivers and they all build trust through the off season, I think it will make all of the difference.
God, we don't have enough money to pay all these people what they deserve. Great. Yes, if we get, our offensive line needs more confidence, especially in the run game. I think
our run blocking was so phenomenal early on. I don't understand what happened.
What happened? Here's what we need. I'm going to say this. Just throwing this out there. This is just, I'm talking out the side of my neck. We need a running back that's big, burly, and hurts when he hits you.
Oh, a physical back.
Which Peyton Barber's a physical back.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the size.
Right.
He's solid, but he's just, an average size running back. If we had one like Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Somebody like that.
Let these offensive linemen get hit in the back a few times, and they start going, let's create a hole for this guy to run in.
So he'll quit hitting us.
So he'll stop hitting us. Yeah, because our running backs they run right into our offensive linemen. Yeah, because they're not opening up space, or they're trying to squeeze through. No, incentive matters, man. Make these guys want to open up a hole. You know who does that? Baltimore. God, man. You know how long it's been since I've seen some blocking like Baltimore does? It's beautiful to watch. It really is. You could put my grandmother back there and run behind Baltimore's blocking.
She'd be a 1,000-yard rusher.
And she's dead. I want to say this. We've got a long off season in front of us, man. This one's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been over a decade since we've had this type of hope leaving the season. I've got a lot of video work I want to do this off season. I've got things I want to break down. Jameis Winston's interceptions. I want to break down his sacks. I want to break down our defensive configurations and a lot of the crazy looks we've given. I want to break down our secondary.
I want you to break down the defensive line. This is something that you mentioned.
Beautiful. That'll be great.
During the game, we talked about it. JPP, with his really elusive moves, especially this game, but that you said they've all learned from each other.
Yes.
And they're all technicians, which is really an interesting way to look at it, and I think you're exactly right.
Yeah. Vita Vea would be the one that you would say he's not a technician. He's a brute force.
And David is instinct, too.
But if you listen to Vita Vea's interviews, you will you will not listen to it. You will not hear an interview with him where he does not say he's learning. I'm serious. He has every time that's his focus. Learning. They have all learned from Sue that spin off of a double team block, and I love that. I've seen it happen so much this year. It's made me so proud. I feel like I'm birthing a baby. All of them. JPP picked up moves off of Barrett. And
because Barrett has such a huge toolbox of moves.
He's a chess master. He really is.
He said that he will see what moves work on a guy, and he'll work on them for part of the game.
To set him up for certain things.
To set him up, so then he'll be able to take advantage of him.
Here's the crazy thing about both of them, JPP and Barrett, is you take them up against any other outside linebacker in the league, their stats are better. But when you do it as far as what they're supposed to do during that play, what their assignment is, they drop back into coverage a lot. They're not rushing the passer all the time like most outside linebackers. You got a lot of these outside linebackers that rarely drop into coverage. No, JPP and Barrett are dropped back into coverage, I'd say about 10% of the time. So you knock off 10% of their rushing chances. And that's how good they are. And their stats are still better than most people's. It's great. And you see JPP getting moves from Barrett. You're seeing Barrett picking up stuff off of Nacho. Nacho and JPP working together. This is a second stringer and a elite first stringer working together to make an excellent that sack JPP got on Watson last week. The way they set that up. You saw him talking before the play. And you could actually see JPP doing his arms in that movement. And they did it. And they opened up a lane for Watson to run down through. And he was like, oh, my gosh, I got an open lane. As soon as he started running, JPP popped off his man and tackled him from behind immediately. It was beautiful. So, yeah, exciting stuff.
But anyhow, I wanted to reemphasize, I will have the game film video done probably Wednesday or Thursday. This will be the last game film video of the year, but I want to keep doing videos throughout the off season. If you have any ideas out there, videos you'd like to see, a breakdown of Jameis's interceptions, the sacks, those are the kind of things I want to do. But if you have anything like that, you want to see a breakdown of plays, Sue's plays, Vea's plays, whatever, just hit us up. Let us know. You can contact us on Twitter. Our handle is @Bucks_Observer. YouTube, shoot us an email. Molly's email address is mollybay@Buccaneers Observer. My email address is ralph@Buccaneers Observer. That's going to wrap it up for us. If you want to hang out and listen to Bruce Arians' post-game press conference, we're going to have it attached at the end of the podcast. But until next time, go Bucks.
All right, very disappointing loss. I thought we had this game. Obviously, the field goal misses cost us. To go to overtime, the lack of third down production in the second half was huge. The penalties. It was really us beating us. And we kind of gotten over that. But again, we found a new way to spot somebody 10 points.
Bruce, this is the second week in a row the offense has just kind of stopped in the second half. Is there something you'd point to for why the points went away, why the pass game went away?
I think more than the running game was fine. The running game was excellent, really. And it was more the passing game and third down. Because they were very manageable third downs, other than the penalties. Once we backed ourselves up to those third and longs, especially when we got down to the red zone on an offensive pass interference call that I got to go watch the film because I never seen it. It's ridiculous.
Bruce, this is Jameis Winston's possibly his last pass in Tampa, unless you franchise or re-sign him. What type of impression does that game-losing pick six leave with you?
Well, it doesn't help, that's for sure. There are a lot of good things. One of the great 2-minute drives before the half. There's a lot of things to evaluate, and we'll take our time and evaluate it.
Coach, the roughing the passer on Vita Vea, I understand. They wouldn't have called that in the CYO league, would they?
I don't think so.
Bruce, the three misses for Matt Gay, it looked like one might have had a snap or a hold issue, but was there any commonality to why they missed?
Just one bad snap, one right, one left, all at that same end. It's been a struggle for him all year, that end, and he'll spend a lot of time next training camp in that end, I promise you.
How much confidence, Bruce, does Ronald Jones give you going into 2020?
Oh, I thought, after the fumble, I thought he bounced back and had a hell of a ball game. And should have won the game for us the way he was running the ball.
Chris, talk about your defense. Devin White gets that 91-yard touchdown return. The young guys have stepped up a lot. What do you think about the momentum that this team carries next year defensively?
Oh, I think it's huge because the biggest thing is keeping them together. Those young guys in the secondary are hurt when we lost Sean with the ankle sprain. Those young guys on defense have made great progress, and really, really, I hate to see the season end because of their progress.
Bruce, you talked about such a big difference between being 7-9 and being 8-8. How much does it sting to lose, not only to lose, but to lose the way you lost?
Oh, it smells as bad as it could possibly smell, and it'll smell that way for a long time.
I would have told you, Bruce, you'd go 5-3 on the road and you finish 7-9. Would you have believed that?
No, not in a million years. And that's the thing. We have to really look at and evaluate. The kicker at home. How do we fix that? Because he's had struggle here, he hasn't struggled anywhere else. The quarterback struggles here, and he doesn't struggle at other places. So, when you go 5-3 on the road, you're supposed to be playing in the playoffs.
Bruce, you said, obviously you are going to evaluate everything in the offseason, and Jameis is going to be a big part of that. When you look at a season where you see a guy that's, one of 8 guys to ever throw for 5,000 yards, and he's second in the league in touchdowns, but also leads the league in interceptions like he does and has trouble with the pick sixes, how difficult is it to evaluate one of the more unique seasons that a quarterback's really ever had in the NFL?
Yeah, that's just there's so much good. When you look at there's so much good and there's so much outright terrible. So we got to weigh that, see what happens.
Is it good enough, do you think?
Got to wait and see.
When you guys had won 4 straight, you had said that if Jameis keeps playing like that, you felt pretty good about him coming back. This wasn't the finish to the season you wanted. How do you feel going into this evaluation process?
We'll just go back and look at the entire season, like we do with everybody, and how many were him, how many were somebody else. And there's a lot more that goes into it than just interceptions, but it'll be a full evaluation, like we do every year.
Was that a bad decision with the ball, primarily, you think? From where
the last one?
Yeah.
It sure looked like it. He's covered. He's going to his favorite guy, but he's covered.
Right. Coach, your defensive line seemed to be your strong suit. You got plays out of Golston, and is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I thought they ran the ball in the middle of our defense a little too well today. But again, we came up with some big stops. But yeah, our defensive line has played outstanding all year. Our front seven's played well all year.
Is there an update on Sean Murphy-Bunting's injury?
It's a high ankle sprain.
When you say a full evaluation on Jameis, does that include looking at what quarterbacks might be available, either free agency or the draft?
That would be a huge part of it.
Coach, looking at White's performance the whole season, positive, negative?
It was huge. Devin, after the knee injury, which, it took him a while playing in that brace. He's never played in a brace. But to watch him the last 6 weeks, we got what we were looking for. We got a great player, somebody that should be in a Pro Bowl for years to come.
I'm talking about Shaq Barrett getting the sack record, adding to it, 19.5 sacks to end the season.
Yeah, he made a lot of money.
Bruce, another guy that might have is Brett Purdy. How much did he show you in the last 6 weeks?
Oh, it shows that he's a 1. He came in the last 3 weeks as our 1 and played like it. And that touchdown in the end zone at end of the half was huge.
Coach, you've been around quarterbacks all your life in the NFL. Is Winston fixable?
That's one of the things I'm going to have to evaluate.
And Jason Pierre-Paul, starts off the season with a possibly career-threatening injury. Could you just talk about his comeback this year?
There's no doubt how much we missed his energy in September. Until he came back in the building and was there every day. Even myself, I didn't know how much energy he would bring, and it was amazing what the energy he brings, and he's still playing at an extremely high level.
Coach, 6 weeks ago, people were saying, why is Perryman even on this team? He's proven why he's on it.
Yeah, I kind of knew why. So, yeah, that was an easy one.
Bruce, with all the stats, there's a million stats you can look at postseason. Can you get past leading the league in giveaways? Can you get past that?
No, because you're not going anywhere. You're going home. You're going home when you lead the league in giveaways. You're never going to play in the playoffs, unless you're playing for Steelers in the 70s.
Bruce, what was your message to the team in the locker room just now?
It's a shame that, this was a game that we talked about all year, of us beating us in all 3 phases, and we did. And there wasn't, hey, he lost the game, fire him. No, there's not, because it was offense, defense, special teams. So it's like, we will not beat ourselves next year.
You mentioned Gay and Winston have struggled, particularly at home. I guess with the kicking, you might look at wind or something like that. But with the quarterback, is it just too much putting too much pressure on yourself, playing a different game at home than you do on the road?
Yeah, Rick, I wish I could answer the question, because then we could fix it. And it's something we'll discuss hardly a bunch. But whatever it is, it can't happen.
Is that about the worst image you could walk off a season with? For him, for all that.
Yeah, I think an overtime loss, giving the ball away for a touchdown. I can't think of anything worse.
Coach, you lose 9 games, but 8 of them you're in. Is that just the NFL?
Yeah, we talked to every game's going to come down to the last 2 minutes of the half, 2 minutes in the game. You win them or you lose them. All right. Now, we've been really good at the end of halves, but we struggle sometimes at the end of games. And talent was never an issue with this football team. Let me make that. I told that from day when I took the job. We have way enough talent to win. We should have had at easy 10 wins when we beat ourselves.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Been great all year.